So welcome back, Drifters. We're back in my garage today. We got back from our trip to Florida helping Austin out, and we're back working on the 67 Mustang. So what we're going to be doing is trying to repair our frame rails, because basically what happened is the last time we were working on this, we removed the floor supports and we discovered a lot of rust. So now we're going to be cutting all that rust out and welding in some new metal. So now an interesting thing about these floor supports is that they're actually two separate pieces from the factory, because they'll weld the inner to the outer. So there's always going to be that little gap there. So I know it's kind of weird, but that's just how they were from the factory. But the thing is, the new piece is one solid piece. So technically this should be a little bit stronger, but it's just going to make it a little bit more complicated to weld it, because they're actually two different thickness of metals. So this should be pretty interesting to do, but what I'm going to do first is just cut out all that old rust, and we're going to use that as a template. So I've already got my lines made out, and now I just need to get to cutting. Okay, so we got these things cut off as straight as we possibly could. You know, these pieces are already kind of jacked up as it was, and not just from like being old, but also from being jacked up and bent, out of shape, all that fun stuff. So now what I need to do is I need to basically figure out how I'm going to cut out the new metal to fit, and we're going to just try to get it as close as we can. I'm going to leave a little bit of excess so that way we can grind it back and make sure that it's exactly lining up where it should. But yeah, that's pretty much what we got to do now. So you can see here that this piece is obviously a little bit shorter than the piece that I've got here, because for some reason they gave me this extra little bit here that doesn't exist on the stock one. Like you could probably see down there, that extension doesn't exist. So we're going to definitely have to cut this off and try to figure out where that is. The only thing is, when I go to cut this back portion, I want to make sure that it's completely flush, and I know that this is a straight edge already. So what I may end up doing is just going in a little bit further, lining this up as best we can, and then just cutting like a little bit extra on this side for grinding. And then that way we've got like a nice square we can use here, and we'll cut a little excess and we'll just grind it all to fit. So that should work, or so I hope. Okay, so, I gotta fix that. There we go, that's better. So, it's been about a day since the last clip, but I've been in here working on this thing, grinding away. It's just very repetitive, and I'm not trying to be too repetitive here, but we gotta make sure this thing fits as good as we possibly can. I already have one spot that's a little short, but I think I'll be able to make the gaps work. The hardest thing I'm having right now is just getting it lined up and make sure that it's square. But before we go to shoot our first welds, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut out some pieces of the metal that's the exact same thickness, and I'm going to do some test fits to see with the welder to get it dialed in. So that way I'm not guessing on the actual frame. That way I know when I go to strike an arc that it's good to go. So that's what we're going to do now. The only other thing I need to do is, usually what I like using to clean the metal is acetone. And, well, I'll show you what I do to fill it up. So I like to do the acetone is I take one of these cheap bottles. I get it at Lowe's and just pour my acetone into there, so that way I got a nice little spray bottle. It's a little bit easier to apply that way. And it's a lot cheaper when you buy it in the big jugs like this than it is if you go and buy it, you know, little cans, or if you're using brake parts cleaner or whatever. Well, these things are kid-proof, but they're also Kyle-proof. Holy cow. Dang, I'm gonna pop this little child lock off. This thing's bullshit. So, pro tip, just take the child lock off. Now it should be a lot easier to get off. Holy cow, this thing's like seized on here. Yo, let's get some vice grips. Okay, come on. Oh yeah, there we go. Okay, it was expanding from the heat. Okay, well, we got it. Anyway, usually I don't have that much trouble just getting the lid off. But yeah, so then we're just gonna take this and try to pour it into this bottle. It'd probably be better if I had a funnel for this, but I'm an idiot. Okay, that's good enough. Holy shit, I just made a big old mess. Oh, I swear to God, I'm so dumb sometimes. I just wasted so much of that. Oh well. So anyway, that's how I get my acetone. All right, so I got the test pieces together. I'm gonna clean these things up and try to zip a couple welds on there till we get it dialed in where we want it. And yeah, should be doing pretty good. So let's do it. Okay, so this is the test piece. Now you'll see I did a couple little beads, but what I'm really looking for is the penetration, which is what you can see on the back here. It's that heat that you see, like those little blue circles, and basically how far it's spreading out. You can see like the ones in the middle are a little bit smaller, and then these are much wider. So I was just trying to see just how much heat was actually getting through this, because I don't want these to be cold welds, because it is structural, so I need to make sure these are done well. I think I got it pretty dang close. The only thing I might do just to kind of increase the heat a little bit is to just kind of hold it over it a little bit longer, because I was kind of rushing it. But I think we're good. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this piece. I already chamfered all the edges of it, got it nice and grind down. And we're going to tack this thing in place. And basically what this is going to do is it's going to tell me, like, okay, are we in a decent alignment? I'm going to take the floor support and see if it actually fits with this thing in place before we fully weld it in, because if this is in the wrong position, if it's too tall or it's too short, I want to know before I do the full weld, because it's a lot less welds that I need to grind down. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. So I am no professional welder, but I will tell you that I am definitely improving, and all this practice is definitely coming in handy, because let me show you these little spot welds I got. I think they turned out pretty good. I mean, those are just little stitch welds to hold it in place, but I'm pretty proud of that. So this guy blew through a little bit, because instead of going down with the weld, I accidentally went up, because I don't know, I braid parted, it's hot. But all the other ones look pretty dang good. So yeah, that's why all that prep work is really important, because it makes everything else go together really well. And yeah, I'm really proud about that, because, you know, I've been kind of dreading doing this part, because it is part of the frame rail, and if this thing's crooked at all, you know, I could have just totally screwed it up. But let's get the floor support on there. We're just going to mock it in place, see that it lines up and that it fits okay, and then yeah, we'll just go from there. Okay, so I noticed a slight problem. The new floor support is a little bit taller than the original. So if you look here where this lip is, it's kind of hard to tell, but it is just ever so slightly taller. So that's giving us a little bit of a fitment problem, but it does fit in place. So what that means is I'm gonna have to go in here and do some adjustments to the cross member that goes across the floorboard. This little guy right here. So this piece is sitting too high up, so it's not able to land right down here. So it's kind of an issue, because this thing right here isn't touching the bottom of that piece that it needs to, and this is holding it up too high. So I'm gonna have to figure out a way to make this work. But the good news is that at least that part fits on that part of the frame rail. So the bottom of the frame rail is a little bit wider, but I can squeeze it on there and make it work. It's not a huge issue. And it looks like as though it'll be fairly level. The issue is just obviously getting it to sit on that cross member. So it's just a difference in parts. Maybe I'll have to figure something out with that, but yeah, it's fun stuff. Okay, so I got it held up with that jack right now, and it's holding it in position, and it still looks like it's tilting a little bit this way, partially because I can't get it all the way flush on that end. Let me show you. So if you look in there, you can see that it's not sitting quite flush, like it's not all the way up, because I can't seem to get it to go in there just yet, so there is like a little bit of leeway. So like if I do this, it's like just ever so slight. And the thing is, there's also like a little bit of a lip underneath here. There's a little bit of space. You can kind of see there, the gap. There's like a little bit of a gap. It's very small, but you can see it. So I'm gonna have to do a lot more measurements and checking and making sure this thing's straight, because I'm not sure, I don't want to fully weld that piece of the frame in just yet, because this doesn't quite look right, but I'm gonna do a couple more checks and see if I can get any closer. So I got one speck of good news. So right now I've got this running over the holes that go right here. And I've got the 30 on this hole, and then we'll go check that hole. And if you look here, bam, it's like dead center of the hole. So obviously I think that piece needs to go in just a little bit more. but for the most part, it's lining up, and the width between the two is right where it should be. So yeah, I'm stoked about that. So that's a good sign. It means that it is square. It's facing the right direction, bare minimum. We might just have a little bit of adjusting to do to get it to fit, but I think I'm good to finish welding in that piece of frame, and yeah, I'm excited. Okay, so I had to take a couple of breaks because the fumes in here are pretty bad. I even have my garage door wide open, but it's still terrible. But we got it fully welded. Now what I need to do is grind it back flush, because parts where the weld are is also parts where the thing has to lay flush. So I got to get it basically smooth, and if there's any little pinholes, we'll fill them and grind them back. So it's kind of rinse and repeat time. Oh boy, I think I screwed up my lens. Anyway, so I got this thing ground down pretty good. The whole reason I do that is because I want it to be flush, so when I go to line up the new piece, it's going to sit in there and it's not going to get caught on the welds. But also, I swear, like, if you don't have a trained eye, you're probably not going to be able to see this, but it looks like the metal was already there. It's pretty good. I found a few spots that I'm going to have to go back and do like a couple little spots and then grind it back. But for the most part, I'm actually really happy with how this turned out. Take a look at this. So from a distance, you almost can't even tell that this thing's been welded. You can see like there's a little spot there I'm going to have to get. There might be like little spots that I'm going to have to go and fill. But for the most part, it's very good. And this side is basically the same story. You can tell that it's been welded, but it's very hard to tell between this seam where it was actually welded. So yeah, I'm very happy with how this turned out, you know. I might have a few little spots I got to fix, but for the most part, it's very good. Honestly, the worst part about this whole thing is welding under here, because as you can see, there is no room to work with. It's really tight and the sparks just fly right in your face. It is, it's not fun, but it is doable. Okay, so I just got done doing this for like the 5th time, and I think we're good. It actually looks really nice. No more pinholes, and I think we can count this thing as fixed. So it's nice. It's all one solid piece now. It's nice and clean. No more holes. We grinded it all back. Same thing on this side, looking nice and clean, one solid piece. So the good news is, at least now we got a new frame rail section down there, so it's nice, clean metal to weld to. So when we go to the floor supports, we can put those in there. We know it's going to be nice and tight. It's not going to be easy, but we're going to get it to work. But yeah, I'm super stoked. I didn't think I would get that done this week, because this thing's been taking me a really long time to do. I mean, to give you perspective, I think I started on Wednesday. It's Friday today, and it's just been a lot of grinding and cutting and welding, and hopefully this wasn't too boring. Hopefully this is still pretty interesting. I'm trying to keep up the tempo, but you know, if there's a few days in between uploads, this is why. This stuff takes me a long time to do. So I don't know, we'll see. Maybe I'll start doing a couple little extra things here and there, but yeah, I mean, that's all I'm getting done today. It was a very successful day, and I'm very happy to say that we're making progress on the Mustang. So be sure to stay tuned for the next one. That's when we're going to do the floor supports, and yeah, we're just going to keep trying to make progress as we can, but I got to go to the gym, so I'll see you later. Have a great day.